time in the garden, but I've already drank most of my tea. So welcome. And today I wanted to talk with you just a little bit more about how being in nature can enhance our psychic abilities and help you to make more of that connection and awaken. And as I was enjoying being in nature on this beautiful evening myself, I was thinking about the nature psychic walk. And that's what I'd like to talk with you about today. So this is a specific technique that you can do. And you can do this in a general sense. It's sort of like a walking reading in a way, or a ceremony to communicate with your guides, the higher self, your own inner self, to receive a message. And also, if you're open to it, it can be a way for you to directly communicate with the spirits of nature itself, the fairy divas, the spirits of the flowers. The plants have spirit intelligences too. But even if you don't know all about that, maybe you're not a plant sensitive like I am, but you like the idea of, a technique, an easy technique, a natural technique that doesn't cost anything, a way to commune more deeply with your guides and your inner guidance, then the nature psychic walk is a way to do that. Now, what you do is, you need a natural place to go to. For me, I have, plants in my yard. And if you have a yard of any kind, excuse him, my cat is shaking the camera again. Juno, please don't do that. He gets jealous because this is our time out in the garden. You can come over here. He loves to come around when I film videos about the psychic aspect of life or the runes. He loves that. He's very magical. So getting back to the nature psychic walk. By the way, animals can be part of it too. We're going to concentrate on plants in this video, but I think that if you encounter an animal, a totem, and I should do a video on that here real soon. I'll put that on the list, okay? But if you do encounter an animal on your nature psychic walk, you need to make note of that, even if it is domesticated animal, such as my beautiful white cat. But what you will need is a place where you can go outside and walk, and where you can walk without somebody coming up to you and engaging you in conversation. So when we're on the nature walk, this isn't just walking with your friends. You're going to be doing this with an intention. And the intention, number one, of course, would be to connect with inner guidance in some way. Now, you can choose how specific you want to be. I think that if you're doing it the first time, and especially if you're not real experienced with, psychic work, you may just want to go out there and do it. Heck, even if you are experienced, I like to do it just this way too. I like to just go outside and say, guides, what do you have to show me? Or nature, what does nature have to show me today? What do the fairies, if that's, a magical system you work with? Or, just what does the universe have to show me today through nature? So you want to set that intention before you go. And it's not a power walk, okay? It's not a walk to chit-chat with your friend. You will go in perhaps a joyful state of mind, but also, a somewhat, serious. You're taking this serious. In other words, with intention. That's what I'm trying to say. There is an intention, a purposefulness to this walk, to this journey. So you go outside and you just start walking and you pay attention. Now, if you want to take a longer walk, you can. But for me, a lot of times I just walk outside into my backyard, or even around in my front yard. And then sometimes I do take a longer walk because I live in a neighborhood that is excellent for doing walking. There's plenty of sidewalks here, but you don't necessarily have to go far, is what I'm saying. And you can just step out your door and set that intention. Now, if you want to or I should say, if you need to have something answered, something specific, if there is, something on your heart that's weighing on you, or just something you feel you need more guidance about, then when you're setting your intention, making this a sacred walk, you can also say, in guides, I am very open to receiving guidance about blank. Example, you could say, I'm very open to receiving guidance about this situation at work. I'm very open to receiving guidance about my relationship with blank. Show me more about the nature of this job. Show me more about the nature of this relationship. Show me more about how I need to be successful with this venture, for example. I would stay away from yes or no questions, not because those can't be answered this way, but then, life is usually more complex than yes or no. And most of the time, most people I know, even if you do the methods for reading yes or no, they don't know how to interpret it clearly. So, and believe me, if the universe wants to tell you don't go down this road, you don't even have to ask yes or no. Okay, they will just tell you. And you'd have to be, excuse my French, but a idiot. Okay, I was going to use some other French, but I didn't. It's not really French. So you'd have to be a complete, in denial. Maybe you won't be an idiot, but if the universe really wants to block your path, it will. If the path's not blocked, then it's opened, or at least a possibility. Okay, so try to get some more in-depth information than yes or no. Just ask them to tell you more about it. And then you set out, you might say a prayer ahead of time. You need to at least make a statement, setting your intention that you're going on this sacred nature psychic walk, a spirit walk. That's the other thing. If you want to hear from somebody on the other side, you could turn this into a mediumship walk. You could say, Grandma, Grandpa, Mom, I'd really like to get a sign from you, through nature. And, about blank or whatever, or just a sign. And then you open your heart. Now, if you are familiar with the chakras, if you have any familiarity, if you've done any work with that, I would really encourage you to actually open your heart. Because nature, if you look around, there are many colors in nature. There's every color. But what's the primary color, at least on the ground? Okay, in the sky, we have the blues and the whites. So that's your higher self and the higher chakras. So you can open, actually that's your throat, that sky blue. But nature itself, like here on the ground, we have a lot of green. And green is the middle note color, and green is the heart chakra, the middle of the etheric system. So going on this nature walk, attuning with nature, getting guidance through your inner self, through nature, you want to actually open your heart. So if you know anything about chakras at all, just tune in and open that heart. And if you don't know about how to do that, if you're like, well, you do know how to open your heart. Okay, everybody knows their heart chakra, even if they don't know that, because we all have that sensation of feeling in the heart. So just a simple, easy way to open your heart before this walk, even if you do know about the heart chakra, I'll just add something in. It's just to simply take one or both of your hands and place them over the heart. And you might want to uncross your legs while you're doing this. I'm sitting with my legs crossed because I'm wearing a little stirrup, but or not. You can leave your feet crossed if you want. But just put your hands over your heart, and maybe if you want, look down there, or just close your eyes and tune in for a moment. And do this before the walk. It doesn't have to be long, just however long I'm doing it here. I don't know if this is like 30 seconds or a minute. And then go out on your walk and pay attention. Let the spirit world lead you. Let the spirit of nature itself lead you. Let it lead you around. And notice what you notice. Notice what calls out to you the most. In particular, if there is a particular plant that you're drawn to, notice that, pay attention to that. If there is a creature that you see, pay attention to that. I have my creature here with me. If there is a sound that you're drawn to. You know, the sound of a bird, perhaps, a specific bird. If you find yourself drawn to, say, flowers or fauna or flora of a certain color, like let's say you see purple repeating on your journey. I know a lot of times in very early spring there are a lot of purples and whites. Pay attention to that. And I would, try to keep, the first time you do the walk, perhaps, I would try to keep it to about 10 minutes so that because you're practicing and getting acquainted, right? And so you can then go in and write down, as in with an actual paper. I don't care if you use a sticky note, but just write down, those key notes, those dream points where you were drawn. Like today, for filming, I was drawn to move my chair over to the white roses. And this is in my nature psychic walk before I began filming. This is where I was drawn. And actually, I was drawn even in the early morning. I was up much earlier. And these white roses have been calling out to me. So let's say you have something like that. Or perhaps you encountered a robin in the tree, or a cat like I did, or, whatever. You want to note that and begin to explore the symbolism of that and what that might be telling you. The other thing is too, if there is an actual plant that you're drawn to, do take the time to sit with that plant and to open to its energies, open to its totem spirit. I know many people have heard of totem animals, but most of us don't consider that we also have totem plants, or we can if we're open to that medicine. Medicine being a spiritual medicine, on the spiritual psychic plane, medicine for the spirit, understand. So do take the time to open to the what I would call the plant divas or the fairies, or just the spirit of the plant. Both the spirit of the shared spirit of that plant, like for example, rose. All roses everywhere share a spirit. But then there's the white rose too. All white roses share a quality. And then there's this white rose bush, right here in this time and place. So open to it and let it speak to you. For me, with the white rose, it was really bringing me a sense of peace today and comfort, and also telling me to shine my light. I sometimes take the white rose flower essence when I'm trying to go out there with a new class or something new and I'm not sure about it, right? A new kind of reading form, or just going out in public, because believe it or not, I still get nervous about this stuff sometimes. And when I do that, rose, especially white rose, is an excellent way to help me with that. Not that your totem or your plant you'll go to will be the rose, but I'm just giving you an example of how you might interpret it. So I hope that you will go on your own magical nature, psychic, spirit adventure. And let your guides, your ancestors, nature itself speak to you through the out of doors. Many great adventures I hope you'll have. And please do feel free to share in the comments below and let me know about the messages that you received on your nature psychic walks. Until next time, love to you all and blessings.